Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's talk about the prom so more people can yell at me on TikTok.
All right. Sounds like a good idea.
Super fun time.
Okay. Hi. Wait, no. Oh my gosh. Hello and welcome to another episode of Thoughts Shared Souls Bared. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
And also Happy New Year because we're going to be taking next week off.
And happy late Hanukkah because Hanukkah just ended.
Yes, happy late Hanukkah. Happy all of the wintry holidays that may be celebrated, including the ones in January the name of which escapes me.
Kwanzaa.
Kwanzaa is the day after Christmas.
That's what it is.
It starts the day after Christmas.
Like the beginning of January.
Because I think it.
Because basically, post Christmas, December doesn't exist in my.
Yeah, no. The week between Christmas and New Year's is a liminal space. It
literally feels like it's 5 seconds long, and it's like the worst.
It feels 5 seconds long, but it also feels like it's 3 years long.
Right, like.
So who knows? So merry all of the holidays that are going to be coming up. Today we're going to be talking about The Prom, which is a new movie that came out on Netflix based on the 2018 Broadway musical, The Prom, directed by Casey Nicholaw, but the movie is directed by Ryan Murphy. And it feels very Ryan Murphy.
Oh my god, it's the most Ryan Murphy production that there ever was, I think.
But the thing is, so I did see The Prom, the musical.
I did not.
Almost 2 years ago. Which, fun fact, Andrew Rannells was at my performance. I had a better seat than him, but he was on the aisle, so. Who's to say who won that?
Who really had the better seat, Katie? I think it's the man who got cast in the movie, but go on.
Anyway, so the thing is, it does feel like when it was announced that Ryan Murphy was going to be doing this movie, I was like, yep, that makes sense that he would be the one to do this.
Well, I mean, he's the biggest queer baiter of Hollywood, so it just made sense.
Do you want to go into more detail of that?
I want to discuss it in more depth because apparently my words were getting twisted around the last time we discussed it.
Okay, then go.
I just want to say this flat out. None of my opinions are just me as a probably straight woman. None of my opinions came out of my ass. I didn't just I didn't just throw them out for no reason. All of my opinions on art pieces were formulated based on discussions I've had with friends of mine who are in the LGBTQ plus community. All of my opinions are my own, and they were all formulated based on my interpretation of a work of art, which everyone's allowed to have an opinion on. That's what art is for. That's the purpose of art, is to have an opinion on it and interpret it however you see fit. Doesn't matter. Who cares? But that being said, I still hated James Corden's performance.
James Corden. Okay. I think James Corden did fine. I wish that they did not make him American. I think that posed with him playing this like flamboyant character really was like not a good mix. Here's the thing. Barry doesn't need to be American. Just make him British.
Right.
There's nothing like there's plenty of British people working on Broadway.
Yeah.
There's plenty of British people who live in this country. Yeah. So making him British wouldn't have harmed the story whatsoever.
Well, and then it's also making him, because Barry is a flamboyantly gay man. That's fine. Who cares? That's his personality. Nothing wrong with that. But my issue was a known heterosexual man. Yes, he is heterosexual. He has flat out said that he is heterosexual. A known heterosexual man who has used the F slur, who has used homosexuality to prop up his own jokes, being cast as a stereotypical flamboyant gay man bothered me and bothered a lot of friends of mine. And that upset me because I don't like seeing my friends bothered by the depictions of their of their type of people.
Community.
I'm sorry. I'm so tired. I'm exhausted. I'm so sick of like seeing my friends and people that I love hurt by those stereotypes and the way straight people are showing them. And like, I'm not saying that straight people can't play gay characters. I'm just saying don't be offensive about it. That's it.
Yes. And I feel like with a character like Barry, that is something that can be done offensively.
Exactly.
Because
which is why
it's something that is seen, it's something that's seen as like the stereotypical like gay man.
Right, which is why I think the role should have gone to like Nathan Lane or Titus Burgess, but that's just me. I wasn't in the casting room. I wasn't making the decision. So. But I know a lot of people share that opinion as well. So it's not just me. Don't come for me because other people share the same opinion.
Yeah, while you were getting into hot water on TikTok over that, I was
vibing.
I was having the weirdest experience of my life where we had talked about it on the podcast before.
Yeah.
We talked about how wild the set design was for what they did in quotes as Broadway. We were like, what is this? What's happening here? So I made a TikTok about it, just talking about it. And this the artistic director, like scenic designer, saw it, commented on it. The comment I read in Adam Rao is the name of the set designer, artistic director. Nicest person, nicest. But before he made those videos where he was explaining things, I saw his comment and I thought he was mad at me. I thought it was like a snarky little like, I can talk to you more about it if you want kind of deal. And then he made like seven TikToks like calling me out on it, but like not like, oh, I'm calling you out, but like hey, you inspired these videos. Like, here, let's talk about it. And I was like, I hope that you did. I mean, obviously I was joking, but at the same time I was like, this is wild that this would happen.
Right.
And I was like, I was like the first person to comment on it. But after that, his videos were like skyrocketing. They were like trending like nothing else. It was wild, but I was panicking on the inside that people were
I was getting panicked Snapchats from this woman literally going, before he even made the videos, going, he hates me, what is happening? He doesn't even know her. He's just like...
I was so terrified. And
it's valid, because I would have been too.
I was shitting myself, going, fuck, I've royally screwed myself over. But hey, then he followed me and I was like, what? And then he made the videos and I was like, and then we follow each other now, so it's I'm 90% sure all is good.
We'll find out. We'll get back to you.
We'll get back to you on the...
I think we should invite him on just to hush out any beef that there may be.
We should. Maybe we will. That'd be fun.
I think, yeah.
See if he's interested in coming on the pod.
Yeah.
But his videos were beautiful. And like, did you watch them, Jill?
Yeah, I watched 2 or 3 of them. I didn't watch all of them because
there were a lot.
I can't pay attention to things for a long period of time.
He not only like discussed the creation of the sets and the inspiration, but he also went into, this is Sardi's, this is the theater that we created for all of the shows that take place within the movie. Yeah. Here's all of the Broadway musicals, Catch the Moon, Swallow the Moon?
Swallow the Moon, I think.
What a strange name.
Which every time I heard anyone say Swallow the Moon, all I heard was Hang the Moon from...
Yes, from Smash.
I was like, oh, Bernadette, is that you? No, it's just Meryl Streep.
Everyone looked so good in this movie.
Meryl Streep. Okay, I want to discuss this because you said that I could discuss it because it's the one thing
Discuss
about this
what
movie
you want.
I need to talk about Keegan Michael Key and Meryl Streep's chemistry.
Please do. I love Keegan Michael Key.
Same. He's one of my favorite people in the whole world. I'm so glad that 2020 and 2021 are opening up musical doors for Keegan Michael Key.
Keegan Michael Key.
I am so excited because like I'm excited. I watched Jingle Jangle like 6 times. I'm obsessed with his performance in the Prom. I'm excited for him in Schmigadoon. Like I am so into this. I'm so here for it. And I just want to discuss his chemistry with Meryl Streep because why was it so good? Why did they have the best chemistry I have ever seen in a movie in my life? Like it was outrageous. I just like,
because they're both tremendous actors and they are perfect.
Like I just like every time I've seen it twice all the way through now, and every time I low-key keep going back.
The one time
I watched it twice just to like really watch it the second time because the first time I had never seen the Prom before, so the first time was just to kind of like enjoy it and watch it, and then the second time I was like really like digesting it, and after that I have since gone back and just rewatched a few scenes that I liked. Like I love the scene, the Alyssa Green scene. I love that scene. I don't know what it is. I'm just like, I'm obsessed with Ariana DeBose singing that song though. Like I can't get enough of it.
I have to say, my dad would like stroll. Forks are flying. My dad would like stroll in and out of the room, and during that part, when the Alyssa Green song came on, my dad goes, she sounds vocally very similar to Idina. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right. Like she does have that. She's a very mature voice, which is very it's different than what like Izzy McCullough did.
Yeah.
But it worked. It definitely felt very mature and like not high school-y.
Which I think works for the character. Like for the I think that's very like indicative of the character. Like I think it worked really, really well. But I love that scene. I've watched it like 3 or 4 times now just because like I keep listening to it on repeat because I cannot get enough of her voice in that song. I don't know what it is. I'm just like obsessed with it. And then I always go back and I always watch any scene with Keegan Michael Key and Meryl Streep because I'm like, why am I so obsessed with these two people getting together at the end of this movie? Why do I want this to happen so bad? Why is it so good? Like I can't handle it.
They were, yeah, it was fantastic. Also, I'm pretty sure that like we were discussing it episode or 2 ago, and I said I don't think that his character has a song. He has a song, and I definitely kind of remember it. But again, it had been 2 years, so
he killed it. He was so good. I loved it. And my favorite thing is, so I was rewatching it. The second time I was rewatching it, I was watching it with my family. I watched half of it with my family and then everyone went to bed. So I came back to my room and I finished it. But I was watching it with my family, and every time I like heard Keegan Michael Key speak, I would just go, oh, I love him. Like anytime he did anything, I'm just like, oh, like he's just like one of those actors that like I could watch do anything and be happy. Like I don't care what role he's in. I'm happy with it. I'm obsessed with him. He's the best. And then I will say this because I'm sure this is an opinion that a lot of people share. As much as I love Nicole Kidman, I've said this a million times, I love Nicole Kidman so much, like top 3 favorite actresses of all time. But I don't understand her casting in this movie.
Look, here's the thing. They truly said, this is the Broadway cast. Who are the film version of these people?
Which I get, but it's like, you're gonna cast Nicole Kidman as a failed chorus girl? Like that just didn't sit right with me. Like I was very confused. And even my dad said, he was like, why is Nicole Kidman just in the background? I was like, literally, Literally though, because every time Nicole Kidman's in a movie, you expect to be her, like to see her like front and center doing everything. And so it was just like really weird and like jarring. I don't think I didn't like it. I just am confused by it. Like it's like I just was so taken aback by
You're
by
like,
her
Nicole
not being in
Kidman
every
doesn't
scene.
do. You're like, Nicole Kidman doesn't do featured roles.
Yeah, like I'm like, she's like the lead. Like I'm like, I don't understand. Like, because also keep in mind, the like week before I watched this movie, I downloaded Moulin Rouge to watch on my flight. And I was like fully reveling in Nicole Kidman in Moulin Rouge, which is one of my favorite roles of hers. She's so good as Satine. But and then I had just finished The Undoing, and so it's like I had just finished like all this Nicole Kidman loaded stuff, and then I turn on the Prom and she's just like got a song and a half to herself, and I was like, what is this? I don't understand what's happening here.
My introduction to Nicole Kidman was Bewitched from 2005.
Yes, I love that movie. Oh my god, I forget about that. Oh
I think that's what I knew her as. I'm like, she is.
That's crazy to
the
me.
girl from Bewitched, which also that movie. I haven't watched it in a long time, but I'm like,
Same.
She's a witch that then goes on to play a witch.
Will Ferrell, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought it was.
They're like making a remake of Bewitched. Like it's a weird movie.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think because like I don't know what I like remember her in the most growing up. Like I just know I've always loved Nicole Kidman. I don't know what I saw her in that like solidified that as a kid, but I will say this: Australia, directed by Baz Luhrmann, starring Nicole Kidman and Hugh Jackman, is one of the greatest movies ever made, and I stand by that statement. It is so good, and it's so different from other Baz Luhrmann movies in the sense that like there's hardly any CGI in it. And it's just like beautiful because it's basically like a love letter to Australia, which if you know Baz Luhrmann, he's like the shit in Australia. He's the shit everywhere because he's perfect. But like Australia loves him because how can you not? But you have to watch that movie. It's so good. Nicole Kidman doing anything makes me happy. Happy Feet? Are you kidding me? She's so good in Happy Feet, and she's not even in it. She's just voicing it.
I've never seen Happy Feet.
What?
I've seen parts of it. I haven't seen the whole thing.
I was obsessed with that movie.
Just
when I was like 8 or 9, I had to get a tooth pulled because like there was some issue with my mouth. I don't know. But I had to get a tooth pulled, and to make up for it, my mom took me to Walmart and bought me Happy Feet and candy. And I was the happiest woman alive.
Happy Feet came from that weird like penguin obsession that happened after March of the Penguins came out.
Yeah.
So it was
and then there was
Happy Feet, Surf's Up, Penguins of Madagascar.
Oh yeah.
Like there was a lot of penguin stuff.
Happy Feet 2 came out
not Club long Penguin.
After the first one. Club Penguin. Oh my! I never played Club Penguin.
Oh, I did.
I
was obsessed.
I was a Webkins and Build-A-Bear kid. I didn't play Club Penguin.
I was Club Penguin.
Oh, and what was the Tinkerbell website? It was like Fairy Hollow or something. I played that religiously. I loved that. I wish it was still around because I would still play it if we're being honest.
Then Disney bought Club Penguin and then it went to shit.
Spill that tea, Kitty.
That's what happened. That is like fundamentally what happened. Is Disney bought Club Penguin. They couldn't commercialize off of it because they're like, this was a free website people were given. Like,
right.
How are we gonna make money off this? Sell puffles? Kids don't really want those. Sell penguins? Anyway, that's what it became.
Yeah.
I have opinions on Club Penguin.
I'm over here like ranting about Nicole Kidman, and Katie's like, screw you, Disney, for buying Club Penguin.
I mean, I was already off of Club Penguin by that point, but still, sometimes, even to this day, there are times where I get like the hankering to like play one of the games on there, and I'm like, I can't.
Oh, I still go and play like games on like the American Girl website. Are you kidding me? This stuff is still fun.
I want to play that like sandwich stacker, that like Lilo and Stitch sandwich stacker from
Yes, I love
Channel.com.
Like there was a Sweet Life of Zack and Cody like game where like you had to like take them throughout the hotel to like run away from Mosby or something.
And then there was
like the style quiz game, like London style quiz game. I loved that.
Yeah, it
and Barbie.com games.
Where you had to babysit the kids. Babysit
the My
little
Scene.
Baby. I didn't do My Scene, I don't think.
What? So fun.
I don't remember.
And the Polly Pocket website.
Oh, definitely was on the Polly Pocket website.
I loved Polly Pocket. How did we get here?
Nicole Kidman surfs up Club Penguin. Or Happy Feet Club Penguin.
You started Nicole Kidman and ended up on Polly Pocket.
You know what? Come full circle. Just a blonde doll. Nicole Kidman was great in it. Yeah, it was weird to see like such a big star in such like a featured role.
Right.
And I think that a lot of people, I think the way even the show is set up is I think a lot of criticism that I saw was that it kind of focused on the Barry and Dee Dee like situation, like these are the stars of the movie, when it's like, well, actually Emma and Alyssa are the stars, and in reality they're all leads.
Everyone's got their like important role in the main plot of the movie. So
I think the way the Tonys happened that year, Brooke Ashmanskas was a lead. Beth Level was a lead.
Obviously.
Caitlin Kinnunen was a lead. But I think those were the only 3 that were nominated.
Yeah, I think so.
So like they were all leads. Right. I think it was a very faithful adaptation from the musical. I think there was the addition of Barry's mom, which wasn't in the musical.
No, but I thought it added something to it.
Well, yeah, she wasn't in that. They added that part.
I'm saying it added like another like depth to.
Yeah, because I mean, you can't. It's
hard to visualize what happened without seeing the character, in my opinion. But that's
the thing is, movies are pretty much done in 3 acts, whereas musicals are done in 2, or I should say stage productions are typically done in 2.
You have exceptions,
and so,
obviously. But
so the way you have to structure it, they kept it structured pretty much the same.
Right.
And I thought that was great that they did that. They didn't like the movie musical adaptation that bugs me the most is Rock of Ages, because they just straight up said, get rid of the German people, get rid of Regina, let's add Bryan Cranston and Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Oh, I forgot her name too. I was like, I don't know who you're thinking.
I was mixing up Rachel Zegler and Renee Zellweger. So I was like, it's Catherine Zegler. It was neither of them. Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Queen in her own right, though. I love Catherine Zeta-Jones.
They just like added that whole section. They completely like tore up the relationship of Sherry and Drew, because in the musical, in the movie, I haven't watched this movie since it came out.
No, I haven't watched it since I was probably 10. Like, I honestly can't.
I feel like they made that movie and they said, let's screw everything up.
Right.
Let's make Sherry actually sleep with Stacey Jacks. Let's do this. And also, Alec Baldwin is Dennis. What? And Russell Brand as Lonnie. And that whole
I feel like Russell Brand just gets thrown into movies for no
Not anymore.
reason.
He did,
Well,
but not anymore.
Remember
Yeah,
Hawk?
he and Arthur.
I loved that movie. Yes, I loved.
These are movies I never saw any of these, but I could list off Russell Brand's filmography.
I love
like
Hawk.
I just remember it.
My mom took me and one of my sisters to go and see it in theaters, and I was obsessed with it. And like Evan and I rewatched it 2 years ago in sophomore year in our dorm room, and we were like, you know what, this is art. Like, this is the pinnacle of art. Is the movie Hawk.
Never seen it.
Starring James Marsden and Russell Brand. Another man I love. I love James Marsden. He needs to get more musical roles. Put him in more musicals.
James Marsden, but that's the thing, is like James Marsden, Hairspray, he was Corny Collins.
He's the best Corny Collins. I don't care what anyone says. He's the best.
Even that movie, as well done as that movie is, it still does stray from what the musical does. Tracy does not go to jail in the movie.
No, she runs from jail in the movie. But this is like such a petty thing to hate about like the adaptation of the like stage to screen for Hairspray. But
also, hold on, real quick. Both Rock of Ages and Hairspray were both Adam Shankman.
They were.
Just throwing that out there.
They were. Oh my god. But my like least favorite part, and this is such like a petty concern to have, but like I remember when we did it and when we did Hairspray in high school, I was like rewatching the movie, and I was like, you know what makes me angry is they took out they changed. I love Lady's Choice. I love that scene in the movie. Don't get me wrong. Zac Efron in that scene
is so good.
It's the best thing on the entire planet. But
it's so good.
But I wish that they had kept it the same as the stage version, because I love the like smaller connection that Tracy and Link have during the Madison. Like, I think it's just like there's something really cute about it to me.
That's in It Takes Two.
No, during the stage one. No,
Lady's Choice isn't even in the.
It's not even
well,
in
also
the
Lady's
stage.
Yeah, Lady's Choice was added for.
They changed it. Yeah, so Lady's Choice is added for the movie, but in the stage version, what happens like in that part is they're all doing the Madison during like the dance or whatever, and then Link sees her, and then Corny sees her, and it's like a whole thing. So it's like very, very different than like Zac Efron thirsting over. Oh my god, what's her name? Who played Tracy?
Nikki Blonsky.
Nikki Blonsky, thank you.
Nikki Blonsky from the movie Hairspray.
Well, she was in Smash, remember?
Yes, one episode, one
because
scene.
Smash was Mark Shaman and Scott Whitman, so they like threw.
They said we're not going to bring her back for Hairspray Live.
There's like scenes where you can see like a Catch Me If You Can poster and like stuff like that, and then Nikki Blonsky shows up, and I'm like, okay, Mark Shaman and Scott Whitman, okay, I see you, we get it.
I was very intrigued why they did not bring her in for Hairspray Live, because they brought in Marissa Trent-Winokur and Ricky Lake.
Well, okay, so their shtick is like for. Oh, like you mean just to bring her in? Like just to have. Oh, okay, sorry.
Because Ricky Lake and Marissa Trent-Winokur made like a cameo in it.
They did. I forgot about. I blocked Hairspray Live out of my memory because it was one of the worst things I've ever seen.
Mind it?
Not because anyone in it was bad. That's not.
Do not think Ariana Grande should have been Penny. That was bad.
I have my own opinions on that. I have my own opinions on that are not the same. But like, they're similar, but not the same. They're similar. I don't think it should have been pop sensation Ariana Grande as Penny. I think it should have been musical theater Ariana Grande as Penny. But that's a whole nother thing. I have this conspiracy theory. It's fine. I'm
gonna need to hear this conspiracy theory. Just say it.
Okay, so I have this theory that when they were casting Ariana, they wanted the name Ariana Grande attached to it because they knew it would bring people in. Like, it would bring in a whole nother branch of fans to this production.
And she has ties to Broadway.
Right, but what I think that they were trying to do was have pop sensation Ariana Grande, and then they wouldn't let her do musical theater Ariana Grande, because we all know she is capable of perfectly articulating her words in musical songs, because she does it all the time. But when she's not able to do it is when I'm convinced is because producers are like, no, we want pop sensation Ariana Grande, not the little girl who was an Annie in her regional theater production in Florida. Like, they want the new Ariana, I guess, is my theory. If that makes sense. That was stream of consciousness, but it makes sense in my brain.
I get what you're saying. They want somebody who they know can sing, that they know how to tie to theater, but but you are claiming, or you are theorizing, I should say,
yeah,
that her wanting to hit those roots was not allowed because her fan base would not have wanted that.
And not even that her fan base wouldn't have wanted it. It's just it wouldn't have been as recognizable for people just like watching it for Ariana. It wouldn't have been as recognizable to them. Whereas like I know Ariana from like 13, and like the more theater side of Ariana, that's what I love. And I know that's not entirely her anymore. That's fine. I still love her. I still think that she's an amazing artist. I think she's insanely talented. But like my favorite Ariana album is her first album because it's more musical theater. She articulates more, she enunciates her words more in that album because it was her beginning stages. And now she's more of just pop sensation Ariana Grande.
She's found a style that works for her.
Right.
And she plays into that style.
Right. And so I just like, I don't know, I think that she was fully capable of doing Penny the way that like we would have wanted it, and it just wasn't able to happen. That's my theory.
Who was Link?
Oh, it's Garrett. What's his name?
Oh, Garrett Clayton?
Garrett Clayton, yes. I love him. I think he's the cutest thing in the whole world.
He is very much a Ken doll.
He is, and I love him.
I've seen him in a couple of things.
He was in Teen Beach Movie.
No, physically, I saw him in things.
Oh,
at the Rockwell.
I adore him. I think he's adorable. I think he's so stinking cute.
He was the Rockwell did an unauthorized musical parody of Clueless, in which he played Christian. In which he played Christian, and he sang Barbie World, and it was the most fun I've ever seen. I have a video. I'm gonna have to send you the video because it's so funny. But how did we get onto this topic?
I don't know. But also, I didn't like Hairspray Live because there were so many technical issues with like audio and video and all that jazz that it was so difficult to watch at times. Like I had to turn up my television all the way up at parts just to hear anything, and that was infuriating. And then there were times when Maddie
Bailio? I should know this. She performed because that was what, in 2016? Was Hairspray Live?
I think so, yeah. No, 2017. 2016.
Oh, but like January.
Yeah.
They had just cast her, and she was a performer for one of the Pasadena Pops concerts because she was part of like the Feinstein. Okay. She's part of like the Michael Feinstein. I don't know. Michael Feinstein does some like.
He does so many things.
Something. But he's also the conductor of Pasadena Pops. So and that's where I interned for the summer of 2016. And so I was at every concert that summer, and he like brought her up like, oh, this is from my like theater. God, there's a word. I it's escaping me.
Like troop?
No, it's like a not a workbook workshop.
Like a workshop? Lab?
Find stuff. No, now I'm gonna have to Google it. The Great American Songbook. I think something he does.
That was the Lincoln Center.
Yeah, but that's like a
there was a Lincoln Center Great American Songbook.
Yeah, and I think that's like a project he does. I don't know. He's got something. It's not important, but she was part of that.
Right. Okay.
And then
anyways,
so it was
I thought
like
she
just
was
been
great.
cast, and so they're like, here, come be perform with me.
Right. I thought she was really great in Hairspray Live. I just hate that there was a lot of technical issues. Like, that bothered me. It made me really sad for her. But
yeah. Anyway, back to the prom.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to do a lot of editing on this one.
You can't get me off on tangents about Hairspray, Katie. I love Hairspray so much.
No, well, so do I, but there's a lot of dead air right there.
That's true.
So back to the prom.
I could talk about Hairspray for hours. Yeah.
I did really, really enjoy this movie.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was fun. I had fun while I was watching it. It made me cry. Like, I had a good time watching it.
I loved the way it was shot. I loved the way it looked. Its aesthetic was beautiful.
That's on Ryan Murphy.
Yeah. Going like, I wonder if, so here's the thing. Kevin Chamberlain played a character who I couldn't tell you what happened with him. He was a producer. He was like a, I don't even know what he was.
Like their, I thought he was like a PR guy, but I could have just been manager maybe. I think he might have been manager.
He was just like there in some scenes and then not there in others. And then I was trying to remember the role because I want to say the actor's name was Josh Layman, who
I think so, yeah.
Who played that role on Broadway. Yeah, Josh Layman. And I'm trying to remember, I guess on a stage, in like a stage kind of situation, it feels like you're there more.
Yeah.
But it felt like Kevin Chamberlain would just be in certain scenes and then not in others.
Yeah. And I think that it was like, a lot of people even pointed out that he would have been really good as Barry. And I agree with that. I think he would have made a really great Barry because he's got the acting chops to play literally anything and be good at it. Like, I think Kevin Chamberlain is so good and so underrated. Critically underrated. I know he's like, everyone loves him, but like critically speaking, he's very underrated. But like, I don't know, like I wish that we had seen him more because he's so good. But I loved the little shot during It's Time to Dance with him where he's like smiling and he's just like the happiest man, and I was like crying just like looking at him because I was like, look at Kevin Chamberlain. Like my king, I love him.
Oh my gosh.
So
I would have loved to see him more.
I like literally, that's like once people started being like, why wasn't he cast as Barry? I was like, damn, why wasn't he cast as Barry? He would have been so good. He would have been so cute. Are you kidding me?
Just like swap him and James Corden.
Yes.
Okay, so Kevin Chamberlain, great, fantastic. Should have seen more of him.
Yes.
Meryl Streep.
I loved her.
She was fantastic.
So good.
She's obviously a chameleon of an actress.
Did you obviously like we say that about everything Meryl Streep does. Like, she's so good, but like this one felt so good. Like, she was really good.
She was doing it all.
She's amazing.
There are times where I'm like, I remember like my initial reaction was, can Meryl Streep sing? And then I'm like, Katie, she's been in 2 Mamma Mia movies and Into the Woods. Like, get that through your head.
Katie.
all of which I've seen.
I was about to say, have you not seen that?
Mamma Mia is like my guilty pleasure. It used to be my guilty pleasure movie. I don't believe in guilty pleasures. But,
my sisters and I watched Mamma Mia so much growing up. Like, it was outrageous. I love Mamma Mia.
I love it. I felt like there was like some weird like thing done with her like eye makeup that made her eyes look a little strange.
Okay, my mom pointed out that she looked older than normal in the movie, and I think that
my dad was like, "Did she get work done?"
I think that they did it on purpose because I think that they were playing into the like she's working on being a washed up actress. Like she's like obviously she's strained because like she's been in this industry for so long, like all of that stuff. So I think that they were playing on that. And so I think they did something with their eye makeup to play on that, which I think is really good. Like I think that that's amazing. But I could also
to make it look like she's had like an eye lift or a facelift or something.
Right. So, or maybe Meryl Streep has something on. Who knows? If she did, she did. Who cares? Good for her. Wish I could afford that. Damn.
Her outfits were fantastic. That's how I want to dress when I'm older, but I'm too short.
Honestly. My favorite, okay, here's one thing that I would like to point out though. I know that this is like Ryan Murphy's shtick, is like the color and all that jazz or all that zazz. I know there's like his thing like color and like vibrancy in whatever tone you can get it in, like whether it's happy or sad or whatever. But I hated the principal's office. I absolutely was uncomfortable with it because I was like, never in my life have I seen a principal's office with bright yellow and blue anything. Like, do you know what I'm talking about? Like how
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't spent a lot of time in a principal's office.
Well, no, like, but that's the thing that was like, I don't know if it's just because my high school was garbage. I don't know, but like in other television and like in photos and like just random things that I've seen in my life, it's so vibrant for a principal's office. Like I found that very weird, but it also spoke a lot to his character, and I think that that was important. But it just confused me for like the moment that it was happening. I was just like, that's an odd choice, but it made sense for the character. I will say that. I loved it. It was so good.
Yeah, and then so going into Keegan Michael Key, what I thought was funny was they were like, straight people like Broadway too. Yeah. And she's like, you're not my typical demographic. And he's like, black. She's like, straight.
Well, that was so funny.
And he goes, straight people like Broadway too. And I'm like, let me find one. Find me a straight boy who likes Broadway, please.
There's like 3 straight white men on Broadway. And they're all unicorns, and no one can ever like.
And all like
we're never gonna find. We're never gonna find anyone like them, and we just have to accept that. And it's annoying, and I hate it.
Look, they don't need to be a performer; they just need to appreciate it and like have a conversation with me about it afterwards, and I can just like expel everything that I'm thinking after I like sob my eyes out at a new work. That's what I want. I want so bad for a piece of theater to like touch me again the way that Come From Away did, and then Hamilton the year before that.
I'm trying to find something that hits me the way like I just need to see the revival of Company, because I'm like,
that's what I think will do it.
Hit me like Company again. I need to see the revival of Company because oh god, like Katie, I need it so bad.
I know.
I'm gonna cry. I can't talk about it. I'm gonna cry. Oh god. I just keep thinking about Katrina Link singing Being Alive, and I'm just like in tears. Why did we start talking about this? Oh my god.
Jill's had a very emotional day.
I've had a very emotional. This is horrendous. Oh my god.
I've had a wild week. Jill's had an emotional day.
I need to go like watch Raul Esparza and Company really quick.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, I'm gonna cry so hard. Anyways, continue before I keep crying. This is so bad.
So anyway, I that's all I want so bad. Like in the next piece of theater that I see, I need it to just like hit me in the chest and
Well,
like let me sob the way I did when the first time I saw Come From Away, and the second, and all the way through the sixth.
I keep saying I need to see Moulin Rouge first. I keep saying that's the first show I need to see. I genuinely think it might be Company that I need to see first. Because like Moulin Rouge, I feel like Moulin Rouge is gonna be like low-key triggering to see post-COVID. Because like Satine's just on stage coughing up blood. Like, I was like talking to my friend about that recently, and I was like, do you think it's a good idea to go and see Moulin Rouge post-COVID? Like, I'm gonna see it. Don't get me wrong. That's like one of the first shows. Like, I'm gonna book a
You'll
trip.
just see like, Company and then
like,
Moulin Rouge.
Because I feel like Company is gonna give me that like lethargic.
Lethargic?
Lethargic? Is that the word?
Cathartic? I was like, Company's gonna make you tired and lazy?
I need to exit from life. I need to stop. Like, I need to die. Edit that shit out. I don't want to.
Nope, I'm keeping that in.
No!
I'm keeping it in. I'm keeping it
No,
in.
I'm so tired.
That's so funny.
I have like depression
It's
brain.
so
today.
funny.
Horrible. Anyways.
It's so funny. I'm keeping it in.
You're laughing at my mental illness, Katie. Laugh at my mental illness. It's funny.
I'm laughing with you. That was a wild thing you did.
Anyways, Company's the most cathartic experience because I openly weep every time I even hear like the first parts of Being Alive. So I feel like even when Broadway wasn't shut down, you could play Being Alive anywhere within like a 1 mile radius of me and I would just start weeping. I can't handle it.
That's how I feel about the song Me and the Sky from Come From Away.
Valid. I was looking at like my top 100 on Apple Music and Spotify. I had Spotify for 3 months. And if anyone needs to know what mental state I was in for those 3 months, I was in the top 0.05% of Aaron to Bait listeners for the 3 months that I had Spotify this year. But also, if anyone wants to know what mental state I was in, my top song on Apple Music was Chandelier from Moulin Rouge.
Mine was, I'm like 80% sure mine was Invisible String. I was going through it.
And then my top song on Spotify, oh wait, that was Rain on Me, because that was when I was like, Pride isn't happening this year. I need to listen to Ariana Grande and Lady Gaga every single day. But
I made the claim to one of my friends that no new music came out this year, and she goes, "What the hell are you talking about?"
So much new music came out this year.
I was like, the only people to release, because the only people that I wanted to hear from were the Jonas Brothers.
Valid.
And they did not release a new album this year.
My coping mechanism is the Jonas Brothers.
Love them so much.
Chandelier was in my top 5 on Spotify too, because I'm depressed. But I like was going through my like top 100 on Spotify and Apple Music, and it's embarrassing how much Company is in my top 100 on both platforms. Like, I was reading them off to my friend one day, and she just looked over at me, and she goes, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "No." Because it was like a whole bunch of Moulin Rouge. Like, all songs of Moulin Rouge are in my top 30. Because depression. And then I have like Getting Married Today is 31.
Thank you guys.
I went through
to the shores. Thank you guys. Getting married today.
Yes, because I've been working on nailing that song for a good chunk of my life. But at the beginning of COVID, I decided that I was really going to do it, and I was just going to listen to it nonstop for 3 weeks. And I did it. I can do it perfectly now. I'm not going to do it right now. I'm too tired for it. But I can do it perfectly. It's embarrassing. Like, I was like, Stephen Sondheim cast me. I would kill.
Yeah, because Stephen Sondheim handles the casting process of musicals.
Hey, you don't know. You never know. I want him to be proud of me, Katie. I want him to tell me he's proud of me. I also went through a weird phase during the first shutdown in Kentucky. I went through this weird phase where I was trying to become a newsie.
Oh,
So
how?
like, I watched Newsies every day for 2 weeks.
1992 or 2016?
Both. And I was Googling how to do an over-exaggerated New York accent. And I would send videos to my
Pastrami on rye with a sour pickle.
My favorite thing to say was
Oysters.
the Oyster.
Oyster.
The world is your
The
oyster.
wild. The wild is your
like,
oyster.
The fancy clam with the poil inside. That's my favorite part. I love it. I love it. But
Oyster.
My friends were so sick of me because I would send them videos every single day just going, yeah, oyster. Yeah, oyster. We should probably move on to another person because we just keep bringing up Keegan Michael.
That'll just be our go back to.
Yeah.
Okay. I am going to say, potentially controversially,
I
didn't mind James Corden. I hated the accent. Aside from that, didn't mind him. I thought his singing was great. I thought he danced very well.
Yeah.
I was like, he is very light on his feet for a larger man. But then I was like, he grew up in the theater. Like, man of the theater. Like, if you watch his the role that he won a Tony for in One Man, Two Governors, there's a full-on scene where he's fighting with himself.
Yeah.
I'm sure was like heavily choreographed. And so I'm sure it's kind of like watching Jason Alexander in anything. He's very, very, he glides in a room.
Yeah.
And I go, that's the word. He understands his body and like how it moves. And I've been alive for however many years I've been alive, and I still don't know how to do that. I slammed my hip into this desk the other day.
Me
a
all
giant
the time.
Bruise.
So I didn't hate the like fundamentals of James Corden's performance. I didn't hate like you said, like the dancing and the singing. I didn't hate that stuff. It was just when he came out with a lisp and it was only there for a third of his performance. That was unsettling. I did not like that. But that my main beef with his performance is literally just the way that he did it. But like you said, like the dancing, the singing, I didn't have an issue with any of that. It was literally just the other thing. So
because we know he can sing and dance.
Right.
Well, I should say we know he can sing.
Dancing. We didn't really see him dance in other stuff. Well,
did we see him dance in Cats?
At the Tonys, I've never seen Cats, so I don't know. But at the Tonys, like he did his opening numbers, he danced.
That's true.
Didn't he like tap that one year? Or was he just like
on the dimes?
Without tap shoes. Yeah, was he?
I recall that. I don't know.
I don't know if he was wearing tap shoes, but he was like tapping.
He was dancing. He was dancing regardless of whether or not he was making tap sounds.
Right. I was impressed with him then. I thought that was I loved his, that's the thing, I liked his like opening numbers.
Did he host how many times? He's hosted twice. So 2016 and then 2019.
Yes. I preferred his 2016 hosting. I did not enjoy it.
Because the 2016 hosting was essentially everyone knows Hamilton's going to win everything, so let's play into it. So had Dobby Diggs come out and be like, corporate synergy.
Yes.
And then they go, my name is James Corden. Is that the one where they brought out the like child version of him?
Yeah. And
that was the same performance?
And he did all the different musicals. Like he like alluded to like 100 different musicals. Like he did the whole thing. Yeah.
That was 2016? It wasn't 2019?
It was 2016.
Then what was last year?
I blocked out most of that because I didn't like it. I don't remember why I didn't like it. I just didn't like it. So I blocked out most of it from my memory.
don't remember.
And also that feels like it was a lifetime ago. Like, it feels like it was so long ago.
Yeah, well, this year has been a decade, so. I know, I just sent out Christmas cards to my friends, and I sent one to my friend Olivia, and I wrote in there, I go, less than a year ago, I was with you in San Francisco seeing Cursed Child. That feels like forever ago.
Yeah. Like, it's so crazy because, like, I remember watching the 2019 Tony Awards. I vividly remember me and my friends were drunk in my living room watching the 2019 Tony Awards. But I don't remember what happened.
I remember Andre DeShields having his, like, the 3 things I've learned, and then after that, when Anais Mitchell won, she tried to do the same thing, and it was like, what are you doing?
It wasn't reaching, that's for sure.
No.
I vividly remember my best friend Mary Beth and I sitting on my couch, drunk, watching it and, like, weeping over Andre DeShields. Like, I wasn't a big fan of his 2019 hosting, but I think I was just so sick of him at that point that I was just, like, not here for it anymore. But I do like that they play into the whole, like, live theater is, like, there's nothing like live theater in his openings, which is, they play into it more in his openings than they have in others, and I like that.
Right there, Ryan Murphy.
Stop. Oh my god.
In a shiny blue suit, which is reminiscent of Barry's suit in the Prom.
Yep.
This was Ryan Murphy's passion project. Let's get real. He said, I want to do this. And the world said, okay, sure.
Sure. Why not?
Netflix said, sure, here's some money.
Ryan Murphy goes to Netflix with anything that they buy it.
Because Fox won't. That's why he's gone to, like, FX.
Yeah.
Right? That's where, like, Feud was.
I feel like there isn't a single thing out there anymore that Ryan Murphy isn't attached to. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying he's everywhere. Like, I'm tired.
Here's the thing.
I'm not
the way a lot of people.
I need to say this. I'm not saying any of this in a bad way. I'm just saying it's a lot of the same thing. That's it.
A lot of people go through their, like, moments. A lot of people have their moments where they're attached to everything.
Right.
So, you know, we remember after The Proposal came out, Betty White was everywhere.
As she should be.
Then Russell Brand was everywhere.
Yeah.
Currently, it's James Corden is everywhere. You know.
Which I feel like that moment has been lasting a very long time, though.
I would only say it's been 5 years.
But that still feels like a long time for him to be in every movie that comes out in any given year.
But that's I don't know. I know a lot of people don't like him. I do.
I'm just sick of him. Like, it's not that I do have my beef with him. I will say that I don't like him in a lot of things, but it's gotten to the point of where I want to watch a movie without him showing up in it midway through. Ocean's 8, that made me so mad, Katie. I was enjoying that movie so
really, because I was like, oh, it's James Corden.
No, I love
that was my reaction.
I was so obsessed with Ocean's 8. I went into it not knowing if I went into it being like, I'm not gonna like this, I'm gonna hate it, but I loved it. And then he showed up and I was like, okay, can this end now? Like, I was like, my god. I was like, I'm here for Cate Blanchett and Sandra Bullock and Awkwafina and Rihanna. I'm not here for James freaking Corden. But that's fine. But I don't know, like, I'm just so tired of it. Like, when Into the Woods came out, I loved him in Into the Woods. I'm gonna say that I don't have so much beef with him that I can't watch him in things. I'm gonna say that because a lot of people probably think that I feel that way. I can watch him and stuff. I'm just tired of it. I am very passionate about this.
Whereas, like, I'm on the full opposite side. Every morning, what's been getting me through the morning is I'll wake up and then I'll rewatch all of, like, the talk shows monologues.
Yeah.
So I usually start with Colbert or Fallon.
I love Stephen Colbert so much.
Then I'll move into Seth Meyers, and then I'll like end with Corden, and I'm like, because the way Corden's show is done right now, it is completely unhinged.
Obviously.
When they finally went back into the studio, because you know how they're all back in studio now,
Yeah.
except for Colbert, he's in like an office, just
Yeah.
like what's happening there.
He's being extra safe.
Yeah, but I mean, he still has cameramen. I'm just
Well,
like,
yeah, but I'm saying like
he's just not on his set.
Right.
Which is weird. But because I think Jimmy Fallon, and also since these people have gone back into their like offices, everyone has gotten so much more relaxed. Like Jimmy Fallon is just like, I'm just gonna wear some trousers and like a button up underneath a sweater, like that, and then I'm just gonna lean on a bar stool. That's gonna be his monologue. He goes,
said, "I'm an everyman."
He goes, fuck the suits.
I'm just like you.
Yeah, and he's gone so casual. Seth Meyers he's not wearing like a suit jacket, but he is like still wearing like long sleeve button up.
Such a crush on Seth Meyers. I've always had a crush on him. He is so stinking cute.
Yeah.
He's boring, but he is so cute. I don't even care.
The only one staying in a suit is Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
He's the only one who's like, I'm still in a suit.
Jimmy Kimmel stresses me out. I'm not like, I don't have any beef with him, but he stresses me out.
Why?
I don't know what it is. I've just never enjoyed watching him do anything. I think he's just too like deadpan. Too much. His
is the monologue I'll skip from time to time. I'll watch his interviews though.
Yeah, some of his interviews are great. It's just like he's so deadpan, like he's so emotionless a lot of the time. I don't know, like I don't like it. It's not my thing.
Okay. Yeah. I thought the segment he did with Katie Couric about him getting a colonoscopy was very funny and very like informative.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's funny. It's
I don't watch a lot of like talk show stuff.
I do really because I've been trying to follow the news more, and I also like comedy, so I want to hear their like comedic take on it.
Yeah, I think because in the last few days I've been like trying to really pinpoint what it is about James Corden that I don't like, because I know that there's more to it than just I'm tired of it. I know that there's more to it. I just like couldn't pinpoint what it was.
Is it because he's British?
No, God no.
And it's the America versus England.
No, God no.
Rivalry.
I'm gonna be worried about that. I like
the rivalry. We can't do it.
My God. I think my issue is there have just been too many stories about him just being not a good person for me to get on board with him. Because I was looking into it more in the last couple of days, and I was like, I know that there were stories, I know that there was like a lot of stuff that came out, and I feel like people just ignored it, and that really bothers me because I feel like in the industry that he's in, you shouldn't just be allowed to be a rude person. Like Ellen got called out, but she's still fine, and that bothers me because I'm like, I've never liked Ellen. I've never liked
Ellen. Watch Ellen anymore?
Yeah,
because it's at a point now where people I read a headline, I did not read the full article, but where like publicists don't want to send their clients to Ellen.
I wouldn't. That's the thing. I was like, I've never liked Ellen because I feel like I always felt like she was very rude, and everyone's like, no, that's just her comedy. I'm like, but you can be like, you can poke fun at people and be like funny about it, but like she does it in a way that's like genuinely destructive. Like I've always felt that way, and I don't know, like I think it's just because she's so serious all the time. Whenever she does poke fun at people, I'm like, she's genuinely being rude. Like I was like, I never saw that as like a funny shtick thing. I always thought that was just like a very rude thing to do. I don't know, but I also grew up bullied all of my life, so I genuinely was very empathetic towards the people that she would poke fun at, because I'm like, that's not very nice. Like I would be upset at that. Like that would bother me. And then like when all that stuff, like when there was stuff that came out about James Corden like being a dick like to people that he worked with and like audience members, like he was just rude to people, I was like, that bothers me. I don't like that, because the industry that you're in, that's the industry that you should be the nicest to people in. But
Yeah.
and I mean, like, and there were like things that came out like where he didn't know a lot of people he worked with's name, and that's like first
There
thing
was
that you
a
learn.
there was a spill your guts or fill your guts where one of the questions was to him, can you name your camera operators' names?
That's what it was.
And
Yeah.
he was like, and they let it, like, it wasn't something that was edited out, which you'd think something like that would get edited
I
out,
would
but
have edited that out.
they left it in.
And like that's the thing, is like that's the first thing that you're taught, like in the theater department at like your college and the high school and stuff, is like learn everyone's name, make sure that you know everyone's name, because like show that you care about those people. And so like that bothered me, because I was like, he's been in this industry long enough and he's worked with these people probably long enough where he should know their names. Like he should like extend a hand to these people, because it's like those are the people that work for you, be nice to them. Like that, like I don't know, it's just, that's bothered me. It's really, I just like, I've also never really been a talk show person, so that may also just be part of it. It's like I did love watching them when like I was in my Hunger Games days, my Hunger Games fangirl days, because they were always on talk shows and I was always like, I need content, I need all these things. And so like I would watch any Hunger Games cast member on any talk show. So I got very accustomed to like the way different talk show hosts like operated and all that stuff. But like that was ages ago. So like I just haven't really paid much attention since. Like if I'm into a show or something, and then like Aaron and Karen when they performed on Stephen Colbert, like I watched that, but it's like that was the first time I had in a long time. So it was like, it's just every once in a while I'll catch something if like a show I love is performing or something like that, like I'll watch it. But other than that, I'm not really in tune with. I did at one point want to go to Seth Meyers just because I think he's really cute and I really love Seth Meyers.
I want to go to,
but
Jill.
But I heard his is boring, so
when things open back up and New York is alive again and whatnot, we're gonna go to
it's
Stephen
always alive. Don't say that. New York isn't.
No,
dead.
we're gonna go
tired.
to Stephen Colbert.
Yes, please. Oh my god, I have such a crush on him too.
Stop talking to me, Apple Watch. I don't need to know 3 Stephen Colbert movies.
I want to know 3 Stephen Colbert movies.
Well, too late. I exited out. Oh my gosh, what else? What else is happening in this movie?
We haven't talked about the leads. Like we haven't talked about Ariana and Joelle and Pullman. We talked a lot about Ariana. We just haven't talked about Joelle and Pullman.
She was very smiley.
That was my one. I was literally gonna say the same thing.
And I've heard other people talk about it too.
I saw a lot of people on Twitter saying the same thing. But other than that, I liked her.
She was great.
I thought she was amazing.
The
her
way
voice
she
was very good. I liked it.
Yeah, her singing voice was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
The difference that I noticed, and I know other people have noticed too, is that the character of Emma, at least on Broadway, when interacting with Dee Dee and Barry and Trent and Angie, she was very hesitant to them. She was like, I don't want anything to happen. Whereas in this movie, she was kind of like, okay, sure.
Right, like she was kind of just like,
big smile.
If that's what you say, sure thing. Like,
yeah,
it's
which
like,
was not.
If I was like 17 years old and a bunch of Broadway people I had never heard of came up to me and were like, we're gonna save the world, I would be like, sure, we'll see how that works out. Good luck.
What I'm about to say is coming from a very like privileged place.
Mm-hmm.
But, and I know this was like sort of based on a true story, but the idea that there are parts of this country or any country where the school says that in a public school, I should say, that says that you can't take a girlfriend to prom, that's wild to me.
I can't relate.
Is that something that happened at your school?
I don't know if it explicitly happened at my school. I had a couple friends who are gay in some like form or fashion or whatever. They like I had a couple friends who were lesbians. I had a friend who I'm no longer friends with because they weren't very nice to me, come out as trans in the last few years. Like I was very much in tune with those issues in high school because a lot of my friends were LGBTQ plus. But I had a couple friends who were like trying to take girls to prom, and they kind of just acted like, oh, it's a group prom date. Like I don't know how much, like I don't think that they were allowed to get couples tickets because couples tickets were cheaper because they were grouped together. I think they had to do singles tickets. I could be wrong about
It's been
that.
so long since I was in high school. I forgot that like couples tickets were a thing. I
I
also
never
didn't
got
go
a
to
couples
prom.
ticket. I wish I didn't go to prom.
No one in my family has gone to prom.
I wish I never went to prom. I had junior year, we had junior and senior year, we had prom, but like they were the same
Yeah.
prom. It was just, yeah.
Yeah.
So junior year, I had a dress that people still send me photos of like to this day. And I'm like, can we move forward from high school, please? But I had an Elie Saab dress that I got online for like $200 or something, which was a really good deal for an Elie Saab off the runway dress. And it was the dress that I don't know how many people will know this, but it was the dress that Lily Collins wore to the Love Rosie premiere in England. I think it was the London premiere. And I was obsessed with that dress. Look it up. It's a beautiful dress. It's still like beautiful to this day. But I found it for like $240 or something like that. And my mom let me get it. And it was my dream prom dress.
Oh, is it this one with the gradient purple?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Isn't it? I love it. But so that was my junior. I went all out for my prom dress, like junior year and everything. I just went with a couple of my friends. I didn't really care. Like it really wasn't that. I just wanted the perfect dress. That was all I really cared about. Like I just wanted to dress up. And then senior year, like I was dating a guy off and on all 4 years of high school. And I don't want to get into it, but senior year, we broke up February of senior year, which was 2.5 months before prom. And we broke up over prom, like going, like discussing, or we broke up in March. It was discussing prom, was why we broke up. And so my friends, to cheer me up, were like, come with us, come to prom with us. And I had a friend who asked me, and I did not want to go with him because I knew he had a thing for me, and I didn't want to like lead him on in any way by going to prom with him. And like he knew very well that I wasn't interested in him, but and then whenever he asked me and I said no, like it caused a lot of uproar within my friend group. So the whole thing, everyone thought I was a terrible person and all this other stuff. So like I didn't want to go to prom with them anymore. So I went with my best friend Mary Beth and our friend Allie, and then our other friend, I'm not gonna say her name because I'm not friends with her anymore because she's not a nice person. But the four of us went and we had so much fun, and we took the cheesiest photos before. We all had a terrible time. None of us had a good night. I had 3 like mental breakdowns in the bathroom. Like it was not a good night for me. And then afterwards, me and my friends, we went to like the thing that they did at the high school because our prom wasn't at the high school. There were too many of us to have it at the high school.
None of my dances at
I want
my
you to
high
guess
school were
where
at our.
I want you to guess where my prom was.
Okay, you grew up in Kentucky. I'm gonna guess it was at. Cause I always do some like random place.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how is this an event space?
Ours technically was an event space, but
I don't know where.
so
I'm gonna say like the Louisville Slugger Factory, but that can't possibly be
that's
it.
like an hour and a half from me. No,
Well,
so
I'll
our prom was at the Alltech Arena at the Kentucky Horse Park.
That makes sense.
It was in the ballroom.
Yep,
at the Alltech
that would
Arena
make sense.
at the Kentucky Horse Park. Yeah,
that makes sense. I think one year, because my prom, okay, I don't live in LA. I live near-ish. I don't live in LA, I live about an hour away from LA.
Yeah.
But I think my senior prom, I didn't go, so I don't know, was at like a cathedral in LA.
Oh, that's
I
nice.
think our junior prom, I want to say it was at Union Station in LA, which, oh God, Union Station is so gorgeous. I love it so much. But the only proms I went to, sorry, not proms. The only dances I went to 3 dances. 2 of them were like the same dance in different years. I went to homecoming and then 2 Sadies. I did not ask anyone to Sadies. I just went with my friends.
Me.
My freshman year not my freshman year, God, my senior year homecoming was in an airplane hangar at an Air Force base around here.
That's fun though. I think that's so
It
cool.
was
I never
so hot.
went to any homecomings or anything. We never went.
But
I never went to any like homecomings or anything like that.
our Sadies, all of our Sadies dances were held at Knott's Berry Farm, which is
Naturally.
which is an amusement park in Southern California. But and they kept rides open for us,
Oh, that's
so
fun.
we
It's
had
like
like a
Grease.
section of the park that we were
It's
allowed
like
to
the
like.
ending of Grease.
That's honestly exactly what it was. There's like a section of the park
So
where we were
fun.
allowed to like go on rides and stuff, and that's what we did. Like that's why I went. I was like, I just want to go to Knott's Berry Farm.
Yeah. The real thing that everyone's gonna gather from this conversation is, can Jill tie everything back to Grease? And the answer is yes, I can.
Mm,
I
always.
absolutely can.
Yeah.
But my also, oh my god, I just realized I flubbed on a fact about my prom. Junior year was when that guy asked me, and then we had like a whole uproar in my friend group, and I had to like quickly scramble to get another group together to go to prom. Because I was like, no, I already have a group, because I was lying, because like I didn't realize that it was okay to just say no to a date.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was totally like an okay thing to do, because then all my friends made me feel like garbage for saying no to a person, and I'm like, if we were in any other situation and I said no to him, you would be, yes, absolutely. But the fact that he's a friend and I said no to prom, like, come on. But so I did a few photos with that friend group just because they wanted me to do like photos with them. So I did a few photos with them, and then I went with my other friends. But prom junior year is kind of a blur. I honestly don't. I just remember going to my friend Emily's house afterwards and drinking 2 liters and watching the Hannah Montana movie and then falling asleep. That's all I remember from that night. And then senior year afterwards, we went to like the thing at the high school that they did, where it's like they had like inflatables in the cafeteria, and then they had like a movie showing in the auditorium and like stuff like that. And I went to that with my friends, but we didn't stay the whole time because I was like, I don't care enough. I just want to go to bed. I was like, I had 3 mental breakdowns at the horse park tonight. I don't feel like dealing with any more of these people. And then like my ex kept coming and like following me around at the high school, and I was just like, I just want to go home. I'm going home. I'm tired. I don't want to be here.
One of the reasons I didn't go to my senior year prom, not only was I like not asked, but I didn't care to. Like I don't like the music they played at prom. It was like expensive. Right. But also the day after was my very first day at my very first like job, which was working admissions at Raging Waters in San Dimas.
Shout out to my ex-girlfriend.
That was my very first job. That was like my first job. And it was not a fun like first day. It was very stressful for me because they did not train us.
I remember the day after, I think it was my senior prom, was Easter. Like it was Easter weekend. So like I got home at like 2 a.m. on Saturday night, and then I had to wake up at like 7 a.m. to go to Easter Mass. Then my mom was like taking photos of us, and I looked so bad in all of our Easter photos that year. I looked so ugly. Because my hair was greasy. I didn't care. Like I just threw on my dress. Like I was like, I'm sick of this. Like, I don't want to be out. And I had just spent the night in heels, and then I'd wear like wedges to church. Like it was, oh god. Southern culture.
Proms are wild, and if you don't go to prom, it's fine.
Tea. In
Yeah.
fact, I recommend if you genuinely have a gut feeling telling you not to go to prom, don't do it. Dress up with your friends and then do something. Don't go to prom. That's what I wish I had done.
Yeah.
I wish like me and my friends had just like his senior year we all kind of gave up. We all had these issues with our dresses and with like boys and girls, and because not all my friends were straight, like we had all these different issues, and so my little friend group that I had that I went with, like me and the three other girls I went with, we were all kind of giving up. And then we should have known at that moment, like the moment we started giving up, we should have been like, why are we going? This is ridiculous. Like, who cares?
Yeah. And if nobody asks you to prom, if you still want to go with your friends, go.
Go with your friends. Who cares?
Because, yeah, anyway, prom is prom. But the movie, The Prom, is fun. Like, it's the overall feeling of The Prom is a fun movie.
It is. It's the music is fun. Everything about it is fun.
It doesn't take itself. It's. There are parts where it takes itself very more seriously. Yeah.
Yeah. I love a movie.
They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
Right.
It is what it is.
My friend always laughs at me because I'm like, I love self-aware like movies and television, and they're like, we know you love Moulin Rouge, and I'm like, that should be that should tell you that I love self-aware movies, is I love Moulin Rouge. It's like the most self-aware movie ever made.
Yeah.
It knows what it is because it's Baz Luhrmann.
Mhm. Like there are no ifs and I don't know what I'm
Baz Luhrmann said, camp to the max. Every movie I do is camp to the max, and I love it.
Love that. Yeah, The Prom, thoroughly enjoyed.
Yeah.
I was excited.
I texted you after I watched it, and I was like, I loved it. Like, I was like, I mean, it had its issues, but what piece of art doesn't have its issues? Like, I was like, I genuinely loved it. Like, I had fun watching it. And also, in a year where everything was shut down, it was nice to just watch a freaking musical. Like, it's just like watching Jingle Jangle a few weeks ago, like, and then The Prom. Like, it's been so nice to just have like a few musicals on Netflix and Hulu and like just reachable things. It's so nice.
Yeah, and then like the fact that Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist is coming back soon in a couple weeks. I'm so excited.
So freaking amped about it. I need SVU to come back. I'm like, gonna lose my freaking mind. I want Raul Esparza back in my life every single week again. I'm so excited. Oh man, I'm like I'm like so excited. I got tickets to watch the like Christmas Carol reading with Raul Esparza and Krista Rodriguez and that whole gang, and I'm like so amped to watch it on Tuesday night. I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh. Are you wearing an Eloise shirt?
I am. I'm wearing my Eloise at Christmas time shirt.
Oh my god, I love that.
My favorite Christmas movie since I was a kid. I was like 4 years old watching Eloise at Christmas time, and I was like, I'm gonna live in the Plaza Hotel when I turned 6 years old, and my mom was like,
hate to break this to you, Jill. You're not.
Joke's on you. I still to this day, I say this all the time. Eloise is my hero, and I want to be her when I grow up. I still stand by it.
You should save up to spend a night in the Eloise suite.
I'm going to. That's like my goal, is like I'm waiting for like someone I know to have children, like my sisters or someone, like nieces and nephews. Like I want nieces and nephews so I can take them. Like I'm gonna force this movie on you guys. I'm gonna force the whole franchise on you. It's not even funny. That reminds me, I need to go to Barnes & Noble to pick up the Eloise at Christmas time book for my cousin, because she's like 6 this year. So I'm like, I have to get it for her. It's too good. Oh my God. It's too perfect.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, it's time.
All right. I think it's time to wrap this up. Jill, where can people find us?
That's a good question. On Instagram and TikTok, we are at Thoughts Shared Podcast. And on Twitter, which we literally don't use, it's Thoughts Shared _. And personal social media, I am at It's Jill Hayes on literally every platform.
And I am at Katie Fornia on TikTok and Complete Katie on Instagram. So yeah, please rate, review, subscribe to this podcast. Tell your friends. Let them say, if you guys have thoughts about The Prom, let us know.
If y'all want to antagonize me more, go ahead.
Yeah, we look forward to speaking with you again in the new year. Very excited. Got some plans up our sleeves. It's gonna be a blast.
Yes.
All right. And until then, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, all of the wintry holidays, including the ones we've missed.
Yes.
Stay safe, stay healthy.
Yes. Please.
Don't, please, 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 please stay healthy. All right.